GameStop, is the craze over?
Yeah, I don't know. Company stock slumped. I was just checking, down 30% yesterday online. Is at $112 a share right now. So brokers like Robinhood kept some restrictions in place on how many shares investors can buy. Some traders on social media insist that hedge funds are also trying to manipulate the stock price lower and divert attention to other companies.
So with all of this going on, we are getting a reminder to keep your eyes on the financial road. Our money expert, Dustin Smith from Wealth Enhancement Group, joins us now. Dustin, it's so tempting. You feel like, look at all these people making all this money. It makes you want to get in on it.
Absolutely. You know, we got to remember that our emotions can get in the way sometimes of making smart financial decisions. And the fear of missing out is extremely strong, right? And we're seeing that right now, where we've seen a couple of stocks in particular that have done extremely well. And people start feeling, oh my gosh, I've missed out on something great. Maybe now I should be getting in before, you know, it goes back down, or with the hopes that hopefully it goes back up. But that's typically not the best solution for you.
Because, Dustin, you talk about what goes up must come down at some point. So there were a lot of people that made money on the GameStop when it went up to that sort of 450 range. But since then, since last week, it's come down $300 a share or so. And, you know, I think sometimes that gets missed in some of this conversation.
For sure. We always like to think that everyone wins in the stock market. And we got to remember that any time there's a stock that's doing really well, it makes a lot of headlines. But we also got to remember that there's probably a handful of other stocks that are doing horribly that you're just not hearing about. And I always think it's really important for people to remember why they're investing in the first place and what they are investing for.
I will say, Dustin, I feel like the stock market used to be a little more focused on whether something was a sound investment, how is the profit margin, how are the revenue projections, and it feels, and maybe this is just how it feels based on the headline, but it feels more like the stock market has been overrun by just straight up gambling, where it isn't so much about, it's about the wider economy, it's about how we feel about elections, it's about everything but how's this company doing.
Sure, and I think that's really a fair thing to say there, Jason. I mean, I think there's probably a lot of investors out there that are still focused on fundamentals. But when you have really cheap trading that's available, like with Robinhood and some of these things, right, you can see some more speculation. And at some point in time, that speculation comes back to bite you. I think we all kind of remember the late 90s, for example, when we had a lot of that tech bubble, right? There was a ton of fear. There was a lot of fear missing out there, and a lot of bid up of companies that really didn't have any reason to be priced that way. And in the end, the bubble burst, and that was not really a good thing for any of those investors at that time.
That's not to say, though, Justin, that it's bad to have things like Robinhood there. I mean, it gives people opportunity who may not have opportunity to get into the market. You know, half of the U.S. population doesn't have money into the stock market. This gives them a chance to kind of get in there.
Agreed.
Is that helpful, then, in the larger picture?
Well, for sure. I think that anytime that we can break down the barriers of investing, that's a good thing for people, right? So we want to make investing easy and, you know, inexpensive for people to do, because that's going to give people time to focus on savings for those longer term goals. The hard thing, obviously, is that when we see these things being manipulated, for example, by a lot of people, with the hopes of just pure speculation and more of, as Jason said, maybe more of a gambling attitude towards the stock market. And that's, you know, as I said, that can really hurt some people in the wrong run.
Yeah. House usually wins. Dustin, thank you.